commands, protect yourselves at all times. I want you to touch gloves now, man. You're boxing at the bell. God bless you both.
12 rounds or less. The WBC Heavyweight Championship of the World is on the line. The reigning champion, Deontay Wilder, the 2008 bronze medalist, against Gerald Washington. El Gallo Negro. Can Washington become the first heavyweight champion of Mexican descent, or will Deontay Wilder continue in his winning ways and elevate his record to 38-0? The main event here, Premier Boxing Champions. Gerald Washington realizes he needs to come forward and get within the lion's den. Deontay Wilder, how is he going to look after that bicep injury to his right bicep and his right hand? This crowd is electric here in Birmingham, Alabama. An amazing crowd wherever you're joining us. Thank you so much. Ray Flores ringside here. And now chance of Deontay. Stiff jab by Deontay Wilder. And the right hand down the middle by Gerald Washington. And that was a slip as Washington went down just over the midway mark of round one. Wilder moving forward is Washington. 70 seconds left, round one. Both guys very tall. Stiff jab by Wilder as Washington coming forward. He is the aggressor as he lays a right hand to the midsection of Deontay Wilder, but Wilder's looking for that opening. Wilder and Washington both have terrific corners. Russ Abner, JD's, along with none other than Mark Breland. Big punch there. And now Wilder rises up. John Pullman along with Mike Rodriguez and Andrew Rodriguez in the corner of Gerald Washington. Under 25 seconds left, round one. By Deontay Wilder. Wilder's looking to land that big right hand. Ducking his head is Gerald Washington. It's been a very competitive round one between Deontay Wilder and Gerald Washington. Coming to a close, and that ends round one. You see John Pullman and Andrew Rodriguez along with Mike Rodriguez in the corner of Gerald Washington. Round two, scheduled for 12. Main event here, Premier Boxing Champions here at Birmingham, Alabama. John Pullman telling Gerald Washington he wants him to lay that right hand over the top. Now Wilder is mixing in his jab going to the body. And Washington throws a right hand down the middle. Washington is extremely agile and athletic. He came in great shape, as has Wilder. And Pullman yelling at Washington to keep the jab up. 70 seconds, or 50 seconds have ticked off the clock here in round two. Misses by Wilder. But moving forward is Washington. I don't know if that was a right hand that landed there by Gerald Washington. Wilder trying to load up on punches, but if you're Wilder, he needs to throw the jab more. And a stiff jab by Gerald Washington. 100 seconds left, round 2. If you're Washington, he's feeling pretty good about himself here through the first round and a half. We're just over the midway point. An overhand right that missed there by Gerald Washington. And Gerald Washington is trying to step in. 65 seconds left in round 2. Stiff jab to Deontay Wilder. And if you're Deontay Wilder, he's just kind of waiting a little bit, trying to find his opening. But Washington stepping in with his jab, being successful, scoring points. This is not an easy fight whatsoever for Deontay Wilder. But Gerald Washington is very good, fundamentally athletic. And Wilder, we all know the kind of knockout power that he possesses and the superstar that he is here in the sport of boxing. But he is fighting a very difficult opponent in Gerald Washington, who is also undefeated. Now they tie up. And 20 seconds remaining, round 2. And a right hand to the abdomen by Gerald Washington. Best punch of the round for El Gallo Negro. Wilder steps in, and that ends round 2. And John Pullman was telling Gerald Washington, you are slowly taking this crowd out of the fight. The third round, this one is scheduled for 12.
Wait in the corner for the bell.
Deontay Wilder and Gerald Washington. Coming in with the jab is Gerald Washington. And an overhand right that landed there by Gerald Washington. It may have hurt Deontay Wilder. Now they tie up. Washington, his confidence is growing now as Wilder fighting at close distance. Gerald Washington really showcasing that he could potentially have his best night, and Wilder now fighting with his back off the ropes. And Washington, I don't know if Wilder was hurt or what. It seemed like he may have grazed him or stunned him. Now Wilder back to that jab. He needs to implement that more. Washington sticking with the jab.
Hey, let him go!
Now Wilder is picking, he's throwing punches, but they are not as fluid as he typically is in fights. An overhand right there now, and Wilder stepping in. 90 seconds left. Deontay Wilder is looking to work off his shoulder, but Washington stepping in with that jab. 65 seconds left, round number 3. And a right hand that landed to the abdomen by Gerald Washington. Washington is fighting this fight at the pace that he wants, and if Wilder, he's got to pick up his activity level. And now chance of Deontay here at this hometown crowd here in Birmingham, Alabama, just an hour away from where Deontay Wilder lives. And a nice stiff jab by Wilder, but Washington ate that well. Washington seems to be very fine right now, and he gets caught with a couple of jabs moving forward. 15 seconds left, round 3. Wilder and Washington. And now Washington is coming in aggressively. Tie up referee in charge. Mike Griffin separates them. If you're Wilder, this is the exact range you want to be in. He's looking, and he steps in with that hook. And Washington is crowding Deontay Wilder. This is exactly what he needs to do in order to be successful. Washington is picking up the pace. He is stepping to Deontay Wilder. There you see Larry Holmes, the Easton Assassin, in attendance here. He's no stranger to fighting and being involved in heavyweight championship matchups. This is round 4. Deontay Wilder needs to use his jab more instead of looking for that one-punch knockout shot. And if you're Gerald Washington, he needs to keep using his fundamentals. He steps in with the jab. He's using his legs, strong upper body. He ties up with Deontay Wilder when he needs it. A big right hand there by Gerald Washington. And now Washington, Wilder looking to unload. Getting tied up is Washington. Deontay Wilder, oh my goodness, you can sense that Wilder is starting to pick up his activity level. The fans, anytime Deontay Wilder throws a heavy punch, this crowd rises up as they're going to see something special, and they have during the course of this 30-year-old's career. 37 victories, all but one of them have come by knockout. Gerald Washington, he's got to stay away from the corner. Wilder moves forward. They tie up 100 seconds left, round 4. Stiff jab by Gerald Washington. Deontay Wilder needs to throw more. Washington is staying out of harm's way here in this 4th round. 6'7" and 6'6". Left hook to the body, and that may have hurt Gerald Washington. And now Wilder, as Washington ties up, Wilder showing his frustration, elevates Gerald Washington as they are tied up. Right hand to the abdomen. 45 seconds left, round 4. Now Washington plots forward. Washington needs to throw more of that jab. He threw the jab, and Wilder was trying to counter with that sharp right cross. He is extremely dangerous, is Deontay Wilder. Says after this fight, bring me the winner of Fury and Joseph Parker. First standing in front of him, Gerald Washington. Under 10 seconds left in this heavyweight championship matchup between Deontay Wilder and Gerald Washington. We are a third of the way done as Gerald Washington boxing very well against Deontay Wilder.
Offset him, babe. When you offset him, don't let him sit. When he starts that walking to the right, that's when you bang, bang. There's nothing he can do when he's walking to his right. He ain't even set to throw a punch. Starts walking, jump in with a 32.
John Bowman instructed to Gerald Washington, what is he hitting you with? Sort of giving a boost of confidence to Gerald Washington. This is round number 5, and this is, I can't remember in recent memory a fight with Deontay Wilder involved in it that he hasn't landed anything flush. Even though he hasn't put away his opponents in the first couple of rounds, he can do so, but in recent memory, typically around this time in the 5th round, Wilder has landed something or a multitude of punches that have hurt his opponent. So far, he has not hurt Gerald Washington. And Washington is doing exactly what his trainer, John Coleman, and also assistant trainer, Mike Rodriguez, told him. They go to step to Deontay Wilder. Ringside here, Birmingham, Alabama. Round number 5, the WBC Heavyweight Championship is on the line. The champion, Deontay Wilder, against the challenger, Gerald Washington. Washington using the slight head movements that make a big difference when it comes to Wilder landing a big knockout blow. And this is exactly what Gerald Washington wants. The pace and the timing. Oh, big right hand, and down goes Washington. There's that big shot that he was looking for. Oh my goodness. 135 left in round number 5, and Deontay Wilder is going to go for the finish, and Washington needs to tie up immediately. This is a bad spot. And a big right hand followed by a left hook. And this one, and look at Wilder, he's pouring it on. The left hook, and this one is over. Deontay Wilder has stopped Gerald Washington in the 5th round to retain the WBC Heavyweight Championship of the world. He is the baddest man on the planet. It's Deontay Wilder. All it took was a couple of big punches. Wilder sensed that the end could be near, and he finished them off.
I don't know the time.
Deontay Wilder has lights out power, and he demonstrated that tonight against Gerald El Gallo Negro Washington. Deontay Wilder retains his title, and 53 years ago when Muhammad Ali defeated Sonny Liston, Deontay Wilder can now say that here on February 25th, 2017, he had his 5th successful title defense by stopping Gerald Washington, who gave a heck of an effort. Gerald Washington went out there, he was fighting well fundamentally, but at the end of the day, it was Deontay Wilder who has that knockout power. It was a right cross followed by a left hook that sent Washington to the canvas. And then let's take a look at the end of the fight. That was the first knockdown by Deontay Wilder. Look at Deontay Wilder just go to work. Heavy punches, and I actually have, let's take a look at this left hook, bang, right there on the side of the head of Gerald Washington, and Washington remained upright. The referee in charge, Mike Griffin, waved it off. But at the time of the stoppage, on 2 of the judges' scorecards, it was even. And one judge had the fight in favor of Deontay Wilder, 39-37. Ladies and gentlemen, the end comes at 1 minute 45 seconds of the 5th round. Our referee in charge, Mike Griffin, brings an end to the contest for your winner by technical knockout, still undefeated and still the WBC Heavyweight Champion of the world, the Bronze Bomber, Deontay Wilder.